Do you want to know how famine can be used as a political tool? Then Red Famine by Anne Applebaum is a book for you. Soviet-Russian policies caused a Holodomor, a major famine within Ukraine during the 1930s, even worse than the one they caused shortly after they took power in 1917. For centuries past before that, Ukraine was a possession of other states. Each wanted Ukraine for the region's fertile land to feed the occupier's population. But like many regions during the early 20th century, Ukraine sought for sovereignty. They did gain sovereignty but could not hold it. Division within Ukraine, and with various Bolshevik strategies, the Soviet regime took control of Ukraine until the Soviet regime fell in 1991. During their rule, Ukraine was Russified, especially after the famine depopulated the region. Ukrainian cultural heritage was systematically destroyed. Until the fall of the Soviet power, the famine was denied. The policies imposed on Ukraine by the Soviet power were designed to get as much food from the peasants as possible. The effect they had was to reduce the ability to produce food. Peasants did not want to produce food that was going to be confiscated. They were even willing to destroy much of their food stores to prevent food from being confiscated. The reduction in food production under the Soviet regime made less food available than under Imperial Russia. There are many references to Imperial and Soviet Russia. Some caveats for the book include the references provide a limited background on Russia. The chronology of the events can be confusing, generally with a linear progression, but often providing information by context and therefore sharing historical associations. Sometimes there appears to be time skips with details left out. Till the next review.